Plaintiff Terry Ram says she used to date the defendant, and the two of them moved in with her mother. However, Terry claims the defendant started having an affair with her mother, and after she caught them on tape, her mother kicked her out. Terry's suing her ex-boyfriend and her mother for the value of personal property. Defendants Marlene Veazey and Patrick Sharp insist they're nothing more than friends, and they deny ever having an intimate relationship. Marlene claims the reason she kicked her daughter out is because she was using drugs in Marlene's home. And after that, Terry threatened to kill her. They're countersuing for stolen property and emotional distress.
Start with you.
I met Pat in 1999, Your Honor, and even though he's 23 years older than I am, I did fall in love with him, and we were...
Hold on. Patrick, the co-defendant.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
We were together for 7.5 years, and we ended up moving to Oregon. We had to pack everything that we owned up and move to Oregon. When we got there, he hurt himself, so we had to move back. We didn't have anywhere to go, so we moved in with my mother. And after about a month and a half, I started noticing things that were going on between them two, and they denied it. And so I went out and got a voice recorder, digital, voice recorder, and I recorded them for 3.5 hours talking about their little affair and how they were going to make me believe that it was all in my head. And when I confronted them with them, Your Honor, my mom then kicked me out of the house and onto the street with nothing. And
let's stop here and let them...
That's not true.
That's not true, Your Honor.
You didn't take your daughter's boyfriend?
No, I did not. I was married to my husband for 50 years very happily, and I lost him 4 years ago, and I still feel married to him.
And he's not your boyfriend now?
No, he's not. He's my friend.
Okay. Do you know of any recording that she had?
After the fact. We never knew she recorded anything.
What did the recording indicate after you found out?
That we were talking about our friendship. That was it. There was nothing in there about an affair at all, because there was none.
You were just saying, oh, we're friends.
No.
And we have a good friendship.
We were talking about
And
her.
I'm your friend because you go with my daughter. I'm just curious, what would you be discussing about the nature of your friendship?
Okay, we were talking about her drug use, and he had been using drugs too with her, and I was asking him if he had been using drugs in my house after they had moved in, after we had became friends.
So you didn't mind using it in your house before you were friends,
No.
but once you were friends, you didn't want him to do it. Good enough. Go ahead, man.
well, that's how she said it. She got the part that I let them hear. She goes, "You mean to tell me since we've been together, you have been using drugs?" And he said, "Yeah, but Terry forced me to use them."
Okay.
That's exactly what I let them hear. Since we have been together.
Been together as friends. You didn't go for that.
No. I know better.
Go
I know
ahead,
better.
ma'am. So what resulted from that? Oh, they kicked you out?
They kicked me out onto the street with nothing. I had the clothes on my back and my
evict
car.
her?
She left.
Okay.
And we packed up.
Why did she leave?
Because we had a huge fight that night.
About what?
About her drug use and
That's
her accusing us of having an affair, which was a lie.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah.
Right.
All
And
You keep
it
talking
was-
about this drug use. We're not there yet. We're talking about you taking your daughter's man. That's what we're still there.
Which I didn't
We're still
do.
there. And you're saying you all had a huge argument
Yes.
about that.
Right.
And
She left.
no, she got in my face and told me that she had been using drugs since she got out of prison, of which she
We're
had told me
talking about her leaving, ma'am.
That's why she left.
Because she had been using drugs?
No, because I slapped her when she told me that.
All right.
I had it right up to here.
Why don't you give me all the background you want me to know about?
Okay, after she started using drugs about 24 years ago, I have had her steal my property. She stole my car, left her sons with me and my husband, and drove to Las Vegas with my ATM card, of which she cleaned out my account while she was there. I had to fly, pick up my car, and drive back, which is 12 hours. And she has taken my ATM card from my house when I was visiting another daughter, and on the threat of calling the police, she paid me back, because she has 2 strikes against her for felonies already. So I didn't call the police that time. And then in April. She threatened to kill me the day after she was kicked out.
Okay.
And she threatened to kill him that night also. And as far as my having her stuff, I have never had any control or access to her property that went to Oregon.
Where do you say that property was?
It was in Oregon. When me and Pat moved to Oregon, we had to move everything that we owned. It was on property next to his son's.
I'm with her. What does she have to do?
She is the one that went with Pat to pick up the property in Oregon and brought it back from Oregon. I had nothing to do with it. I have an email from her.
Did you, ma'am?
I went with him, yes, but I was in the motel room while they were loading the truck because it was hot, and I wasn't even there when they loaded the truck.
What was your intention for going?
I helped pay for the trip because he lives on Social Security.
Which I paid
That's
back.
nice
And besides, it was a trip.
That's very nice of you.
I like to go places.
To pay for your daughter's boyfriend to go on a trip.
I didn't pay for all of it. I shared my part of the expenses.
So you paid for some of it.
Yes.
Oh, that was still
And
nice of you.
When it was brought back, it was put into his storage unit, of which I have not a key.
Okay.
And I don't even have the code to the gate. So there is no way ever I had access to return her property.
All right, sir. What do you say about the
Yes.
trip and the property?
We did move to Oregon, and I did get hurt. I broke my pelvis. So I brought her car back in April. I went back up in August, got a truck, loaded it up, and brought it back. Okay.
And put it where? And put it where?
I
Where
put it
did
in
you store
storage.
Okay.
Probably
When you
3 or
brought
4.
the things back, what did you say to her about her things?
She could get them.
Okay, you told her that.
I told her she could have her stuff.
And you gave her a key.
No.
How was she to get them?
give her a key to my storage.
How was she to get them?
I had sent her an email that she could pick them up at a certain time at a certain place. And I never got a response.
Okay.
I have a copy
You have
of
that
the
email?
Yeah.
Ma'am?
The email that I have from him doing that says that he was going to be in a parking lot the 25th.
Okay.
From 11 to 11:30. I was out of town working until the 26th, Your Honor. I did not receive this email till the 26th. I responded and told him, I said, I hope you did not leave my stuff in there. I told him I just got back to check the email and hoped he didn't leave my stuff in the parking lot because I wasn't there on the 25th.
Had you ever told him, I am going to get my things?
I asked him twice for my stuff.
And what was his response?
My mom is the one that responded.
No, what was his response?
He never responded to me.
Yes, he did. He responded in the email. What about the drug use and all the other allegations of criminal activity that your mother made?
Those are not true, sir.
Okay, you've never been convicted of a crime?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Then why did you say it's not true?
Because I haven't been convicted of a crime in 15 years.
I didn't ask you how many years.
Okay. Yes, it is true.
Okay.
I've been convicted of a crime, yes.
How many?
5.
For what type of violations?
459.
What's that?
Burglary.
And nothing involving drugs?
No.
Okay, and how long ago was the last one?
1993.
Okay. All right.
I have her criminal record here.
When was the last one?
She got out in '95, and she was in prison for drugs and burglary.
Was she ever convicted after 95?
No.
Okay. So, you asked for your items when you returned.
No, I asked him, I said, I hope he did not leave them in there, and I did not get no response from him after that. I told him I hoped he didn't leave them in the parking lot like he said he was going to do.
Where do you have him saying he was going to do that?
In that email, sir. It says, I will bring the stuff that I have. In return, you will sign for them. We will meet you at the corner of Malaga and Zinfandel, just past the drive where Jack in the Box. I will leave your stuff on the lot. I am in no way going to be responsible for you as you abandon it in Oregon.
Okay.
It says you could have gone at any time, as you said you were going to. I never told him that I was going to because his son would never let me get on the property to get my stuff.
Why would he make reference to you saying that you were going to get your things and you haven't?
I don't know. I have asked him 3 times for my property.
And if you've asked him, he said no each time?
He told me, last time I talked to him, he goes, what stuff is that? I said, Pat, I said, the stuff that we had in Oregon. My sister told me that you went.
Did he say no?
He told me, I don't know what you're talking about.
Did he
Shut the
tell
door.
you no, you couldn't get your things?
No, he did not say no, but he shut the door in my face.
Okay, but here he said yes. Here he said, I'll meet you to get your things.
And if I would have got
I don't believe that he told you you couldn't get your things.
Your Honor.
I don't believe that you didn't have access to after your
Okay,
things
that's not
because
true.
he told you in this email, I will meet you to give you your things. He gave the date, the time, and the location. Let's get to your counterclaim, ma'am. The value of stolen property. How does she owe you?
When she was living with me, well, when they moved in with me, my sapphire and diamond ring went missing, and my ruby and diamond ring went missing, and a gold necklace. And I have a witness statement from a neighbor that used to live next door to them, and he wrote a witness statement about her drug use and that he bought some jewelry from her that he later found out she had stolen from her mother. And I have his witness statement right
I don't know
here.
what she's talking about, sir. I never took nothing from her.
Okay. And the witness says that he bought it from you. And so you think the witness is just lying for her?
I've sold some stuff before, but it was not her jewelry.
And
it was
she
not
got-
her stuff.
What did you sell before?
I've sold some of my own stuff
Why?
because I needed money, sir.
Are you on drugs?
Not anymore, but yes, I was on
When
drugs.
was the last time you were on drugs?
It's been about a year and a half.
And this occurred when, ma'am?
Between January and the end of June in 2008.
2008. January of 2008. It's beyond that year and a half. So
I
you
never
were on
stole-
drugs then.
I never stole nothing from her, sir.
You were just on drugs and you happen to have sold your own stuff in the past. How much you're asking for your property?
$1,100. I didn't even add in the
The rest is
200.
emotional distress based on what?
Based on what I've gone through with her, I love this girl
Give me
dearly.
some other instances because emotional distress, you must indicate that she engaged in some type of outrageous activity that caused harm to you. So go ahead.
Okay, well, the night that we had the big blow up, she was in a rage and screaming and yelling at us and threatening to kill him. And that's when she told me she'd been on drugs ever since she got out of prison. She had never quit and had been
you tell
doing
her
them
that?
in my house.
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Okay, and with regard to the threat to kill them, did you do that?
No, Your Honor, I
You
did
were
not.
on drugs. What type of drugs?
Your Honor, it was
What type of drugs?
It was methamphetamine, and
Okay,
they
you were on
tried-
crystal meth, and you had never, or you had relapsed, and you had been on crystal meth up until that time, but yet you never threatened to kill them during the course of an argument.
No, sir,
Ma'am,
Your
I don't
Honor.
believe most of what you're saying today. I believe, ma'am, that she owes you for the stolen property. I believe she did it. I believe she was still on drugs. And secondly, ma'am, I believe you're entitled to some emotional distress, particularly the threat to kill you, in which I believe, and some of the other things you've endured while she was there. And do you have any of her property?
Yes, I do.
Okay, where is it?
It's in my storage. I have.
All right, you
I
have 30
pictures of
days
it.
to give it to her. Otherwise, I'm going to award her a judgment.
Oh, no, I'll give it to her.
Okay, you're going to give it to her. Judgment for the plaintiff, $5,000, conditioned upon him returning it, meaning you'll get it if he doesn't return it. And counterclaim, judgment for the defendant. I believe what you're saying regarding the stolen property and the emotional distress. That is my judgment. Have a good day.
I just want to tell my mom I love her, and I wish we could get our relationship back. I never wanted any of it to come to this. I really do miss my mom a lot.
I miss my daughter too, but after all of the stuff she's put me through, she even put derogatory remarks on the internet about me and him, and it's out there for the whole world to see, and I don't appreciate that, and until that stops, there'll never be a chance.
Whatever, Mom. You stole my boyfriend.
No, you didn't. No, she didn't.
Yeah, whatever.
No, I did not steal her boyfriend.
No.
Not ever.